We've now traveled across the border from Ohio into Michigan. It's our last state on our tour for 2013. I want to thank Pride Seed for our sponsorship this year. As we traveled across the border, corn looks pretty well like it did in Ohio. Some consistency here. We got some tasseling, silking. Maybe the ears are a little bit smaller, but overall looks pretty good here. Now, we traveled through Michigan 3 weeks ago when we initially started our tour, and the corn was a lot shorter than it is right now, obviously, but still looking pretty good here. Well, we're finally going to end our 2013 U.S. crop tour here in Michigan. We're near Port Huron, on the border of Port Huron. This is a soybean field here. This one's not a bad field. We've got some drowned out areas, but overall looking really good. So I'm going to make some conclusions for you. Based on my observations across 10 states and over 3,000 miles, each state had its own sore thumbs. The biggest sore thumb was north central Iowa and Minnesota. Lots of moisture stressing those crops, and a lot of fields, thousands of acres, did not go in. So in the August WASDE report, the USDA is going to have to adjust their assessment of harvested acres in both Minnesota and Iowa. So we've got lower harvested acres, but lower harvested acres, even if it's 1 million, I'm not sure it's close to 2 or 3 million. As long as production's above 13 billion bushels, that's going to put pressure on prices. We've been bearish since September of last year. I think prices are still going lower, unfortunately. I did not see anything in my observations that told me that there's a drought around the corner like last year. The west is dry, the east is wet. Sometimes the east is too wet, and that moisture may be causing some problems. But overall, you know, other than that, north central Iowa, lower Minnesota, the rest of the country is dark and green. It doesn't look like the forecast is going to throw a lot of heat through the next 10 days as most of the U.S. pollinates. So unfortunately, with the funds record short, I'm not sure there's going to be anything here to spook it. Now, beans have been rallying because the strong demand for meal, very tight old crop pushing new crop higher. But even on the bean side, and beans will not be made till August, but I'm still thinking the corn yield comes in around 150, 155. USDA currently at 156.5. Soybean yield comes in at 42, 44. USDA currently at 44.5. As long as we got production on beans between 3.2 and 3.4 billion bushels, I think long term we got pressure on soybean prices as well. So overall, looks like prices are headed lower. Because some of these crops are delayed by 1 to 2 weeks in the west, maybe as much as a month, harvest lows may not happen till the middle of October or the end of October. Typically, it's closer to October 1st. Until next time or next year, thanks for watching. Make sure you watch the entire video. If you haven't had a chance to do the whole video, I want to thank Pride Seeds for sponsoring this year. And I hope I've provided you with some observations and insight into this year's growing season.
This video is brought to you by Farms.com Risk Management, where we provide leading grains and livestock commodity marketing advice and services. Sign up for a free trial of our marketing recommendations and newsletters.